Let's go. Let's roll. Is you ready? I'm about to take you there. I'm lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger. I was born to run. I was built to last. I was made for speed. Cause I was born fast. Born to run, born to ride. Keep on flying till my hands touch the sky. Born to be wild and free. Keep on going, yeah, there's no stopping me. I was born for this. I was born for this. I was born for this. Out the gate like a bucking bull. Got my horns up, I'm unstoppable. Got you spin around, it's a do-si-do. Gotta hold on tight like a rodeo.
All right, guys, welcome to another 395 Junkie video, except this one, as you can see, we are not on the trail. I'm actually here at Tembo Tusk right now with Brian. Brian is sooner or later going to be taking over the reins here at Tembo Tusk, and we thought it'd be a great opportunity to introduce him to all of you guys. And we're going to be doing an install video today on the Tembo Tusk slide that I have. And it's a really, really great feature that I know Tish is super excited about, which I'll let Brian kind of explain a little bit more about what that is. But something else we're going to be doing on this video is I'm excited to announce that 395 Junkie is going to be attending his first Overland Expo in a couple weeks up in Colorado. And all the Tembo Tusk guys are going to be there. You could find me at the Tembo Tusk booth along with obviously Tembo Tusk. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over and let Brian explain what we're going to be doing today and just overall generally how Tembo Tusk can make your overlanding trips a lot better. So
Sweet.
Take it away, Brian.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, so today we're going to be installing something called the tilt adapter. It goes on any slide that you have, works best on our slides.
Of course.
But it takes your slide, which goes out horizontally, and it tilts it down. So if you're a little vertically challenged, I didn't say it, it will help you because we open this up, you know, you're now looking down into it, and if you're on the trail, and of course the trail is never flat like asphalt is,
right,
you're going to have some trouble sometimes getting in and getting what you need. And of course what you need is always at the bottom.
Right.
So with this tilt slide, it's going to drop it down to about 27 degrees, which is within the realm of letting your fridge stay running.
Right.
And it gives you access. It's very tough. It's built out of 12 gauge steel. Simple, so it's not going to break down on you. You're not going to have problems with your slide being stuck out.
Right.
And it's a fairly simple install, so we'll get it put together and we'll walk you guys through it.
Very cool. And just so the folks know at home, can you tell us a little bit about Tembo Tusk and some of the other products that might enhance all of our overlanding experience?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're really well known for the Scottle. I'm sure everyone's heard about the Scottle at this point. We're still discovering new things to cook on it, so it's still an evolving product, and we're always getting new products to assist with that. We just recently announced that we have leg extenders for our Adventure Scottle, which is the mini version, which allows you to use green propane bottles. We also do fire pits, because of course here in California we're never really allowed to have real fires, so we can have a real fire with this propane fire pit. Folds flat, very small, compact.
It packs away very, very small.
Yeah.
So that's another great product for Tembo Tusk.
Yeah,
so.
and we have tables that are real nice. They're set up to 36 inches. So it's standard countertop height, very comfortable.
Right.
And then you can set them real low to about 20 inches. So
and they pack away really flat as well, right?
Yeah, about 1.5 inches thick.
Very cool.
And everything, you know, we manufacture it here in Anaheim, so it's all made in America, which we like, and
Yep, absolutely. Made in the USA.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna probably have to do some disassembly. We're not quite sure yet, because as you see, I have the Vector grocery getter here. And currently I have about maybe 1 inch to 1.25 inches of clearance, maybe 1.5 inches, which is what we're gonna be installing is going to raise, from what I understand, the entire slider up about 1 inch, 1.5 inches.
That's right.
So we're gonna unpackage this. We'll show you guys what the product pieces and parts are, as well as walk you through the whole installation. And we may have to do some disassembly and moving this up 1 inch or so. But we're gonna get started with also taking out the goose gear rear platform, which is gonna make the install a whole lot easier. So I'm excited, and I know Tish is as well. So let's get going.
All right, fantastic.
All right, guys, so as you can see, we got it all unboxed, and we're gonna let Gavin, who is Tembo Tusk physical engineer that does most of the installs, although they don't do a bunch of installs here, guys, because they're so busy making all these great products for you. Occasionally, guys like me get really lucky to have the professionals do it. So Gavin, why don't you take it away and show us what we're working with here and what people can get or can expect in each of their boxes when it gets delivered.
Awesome. So what we have is our tilt slide. It comes with 3 different pieces for each side. There's the top, the bottom, and then the inner part, which keeps it from stopping and going up. Also, you're going to get a instruction paper. It has 2 pages, so have you install all your info that you need to install and stuff like that, as well as 8 bolts and 8 nuts. These are nylon locking nuts as well. And then depending on your platform and what you have, we prefer T-nuts to pound into them. So you have the goose gear platform. So what we're gonna do is pound these T-nuts in on the bottom, and we're gonna use the same kind of bolts that we use to install this tilt slide into your slide itself. So depending on your platform and stuff, you can use either this as just a nylon locking nut, or you can use what we're gonna use is the T-nuts.
Perfect, so it all depends on the platform you guys are installing on. But just a reminder, guys, this only works if you have a slide. So you can't expect to have all this without having a slide and expect it to do the same thing. So,
exactly.
Which is a great segue to explain that the slide that I have, which is my second one, I learned the hard way, is also a Tembo Tusk product that you guys can buy here as well. So, you ready to do the install?
Yeah.
All right.
And these actually also work on like the bigger slides that we sell too. So I believe you have the standard one that we have. So this will also fit on the mid-size as well. So
the 60 or 80 liter,
exactly.
The coolers, it'll work as well.
I believe it works up to a 65 is what it is.
Great.
So it's pretty big. So awesome.
Cool. Well, we're gonna get installing, and we're gonna show you guys step by step how to do it. All right, so what are we doing right now? We're just kind of test fitting it all, make sure that we're gonna install it to where it was before.
Yeah, we wanted to clear all the stuff that you have, like this goose gear part right here, to get to your whatever you have underneath there. And just wanted to make sure that everything's gonna line up properly. We'll mark it here to make sure the slide stays in its own spot. And then we can go and put those on and then mark those, because those are actually gonna sit underneath it. They're not gonna sit like...
Which is why it raises everything up.
Exactly. So
got it.
another thing that we're gonna have to do as well is we're gonna drill extra holes in your slide, just because it has 4 mounting points.
Right.
You don't want one here and one there, because then you'll have that bending and flexing.
That's probably something everybody's going to have to do whenever you guys get a slide or the tilt adapter. They'll have to drill their own inside.
Yes.
Also.
However, if they bought a new slide, you have the older version of our slides.
Oh.
So these actually have the 1 hole and the 1 hole, or the 2 holes here, but we put new ones up here.
Oh, so if you get it both together, it's already pre-drilled.
Exactly.
Got it.
It's easiest to actually take these off to make sure that we mount them, just because we can properly mark the holes on this.
Okay.
Because you don't want to mess up this, because if you mess this up, then you'll run into like a shifting problem. See how close these are too?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so last time it was barely touching, but that's
it's
the kind
precision.
of play. That's the kind of play that you have right there is you have about a 64th of an inch of play, so you got to make sure that your measurements are really right.
So basically what you got to remove are these 3 bolts here, the nuts off of the bolts there?
Yeah, so these are the shoulder bolts and the nylon locking nuts that we have on here to make sure it rolls correctly. What we're going to do is actually take it off and mount this to the top just so we can get those holes in.
Because if you left it together, you wouldn't have access to the hole underneath to mark it.
Exactly.
Got it. So we're just removing 2 of the 3 bolts that are on the side, the nuts.
So right now I'm lining up the top and bottom bolts, and we're gonna make sure we put these bolts through them so it doesn't shift and move. And then we're gonna drill these 2 middle holes right here because you have 4 mounting points on this, because if you had 2, it would bend and flex in the middle, and you don't want that because then that gives you a lot of play with your tilt slide. And I'm just using the supplied bolts that we give you for the mounting. They come with the nylon locking nuts as well. So this is what you'll use to mount your tilt to your slide. And this still has play. So we actually want to tighten those down so it doesn't have that play, because that's that 1/64 of an inch that I'm talking about over here with your pins. You don't want it to hit that outside right there. So we're going to tighten them down and make sure that it's correct. So this is the other thing too.
this is critical, this part right here, because what you're saying is because there's this much play here right now, because these are such a tight fit, that if you're off by even a 1/64 of an inch, it's going to not be able to close all the way. So this is very important that you guys nail this part and take your time. So when you get it all done and it doesn't hit, you don't have to start banging on it with a mallet or call Tembo Tusk and say it doesn't fit, because as you can see, as it leaves the factory, it fits just fine here. It's just we got to make sure that you guys are nailing it when you do the install. All right, so once you got it in position, now you're just cranking it down so there's no movement.
So there's no movement on there, because we are going to drill into this and it will vibrate a little bit.
Right.
So now that I like the way it's at and it's tight enough to where I can take this off, this should be good to go. So I marked this top and bottom part to where the tilt base will end. So we want to make sure that this is correct as well. And you can still follow your lines that you first made with it. So I made thicker lines down here so we know exactly where we want it to sit, because that's as far over as you can actually have it based off of your Jeep, you know. So then I'm just gonna go ahead and mark these down. And I'm gonna start with a 5/16. And then in order to mount it, you actually need to change it to the 3/8, because the T-nuts on the bottom will need those 3/8 holes. So. Yeah, right. Yeah, so this actually, what we prefer to use is T-nuts for a wood platform. Some people can actually use a nylon lock on the bottom and just a bolt right on through. That will work as well. I would prefer to put a washer on that too, so you have a wider base, because these are a wider base and they stick in. So when you go and drill them, it's actually gonna help grip onto this wood platform even more so.
All right, guys, so as you can see, we got the other side. It's basically the same way. We just re-drilled the holes into the original slide, and we just copied the first steps around. Now we're just kind of, what's the next step that we should be working on?
So the main focus is you want to have your measurements even. So we measured from here to here, and then from here to here as well, and that's even. And we want to measure from this inner point, because this is outside of this point right here. So you measure from here to here as well, and then on the back you measure from there to there as well.
Just make sure it's all square.
Yeah, 4 points of measurements in 2 different areas. You want to make sure it's all square, just because if you have that off just a little bit on the inside or the back side, you're going to be off on the tabs.
Right.
So you don't want to be hitting your tabs right at all. So that's why we measure 4 times on this, just to make sure. So.
Perfect.
All right, so we got this all installed. We're gonna move this on over to the Jeep right now, and we'll show you the rest. All right.
reposition to the front too.
That's okay. You got your hand out?
Not yet. There it goes. Yep, you're good.
So what we're gonna do now that we got this installed, we're gonna actuate it just to make sure everything clears so we don't have to pound anything out. First, you're gonna pull this pin in the back. Pull the pin, and we're gonna go ahead and actuate it. So you have a little stopper.
Oh yeah, and it doesn't hit?
Nope.
Nice.
It looks like there's enough room on each side too. How's that backside look? Pretty close on that side?
Close, but it's not touching.
Cool.
All right, so now's the moment of truth. Now's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm trying to avoid having to raise this shelf any just because it's like a game of Tetris, and I've got it all figured out. As soon as I move that shelf up, it changes everything. So
It's good though.
we're gonna put the fridge in right now and keep your fingers crossed. I think you and Jerry are being dramatic. I think it's gonna be just fine.
You think so? So I'm just gonna hold this right here.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
No.
Even. Oh yeah.
So close.
It is so close, but as you can see, guys, it is hitting the shelf. So we're gonna have to move it up 1 inch, which shouldn't change anything too much, but
No.
let's knock that out real quick.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, so we moved the Vector grocery getter up about 1 inch, and I think we're gonna clear.
Yeah, I think it's ready to go now.
Yep.
Pull this out.
All right, get the rear. Fingers crossed.
Good. I'll let you do the honors.
All right. Yeah.
Let's go.
Like
Nice.
a glove. This
Perfect.
fits like a glove. So we're in good shape. So let's go ahead and tie these down, and we'll show the people what they've all been waiting for.
Yep.
All right, guys. So it all fit just fine, but let me show you why we did this, because us vertically challenged folks can't get in there as often as or as easy as somebody else with a little bit more height on them. So as you can see with this new device, it tilts down and gives you full access to everything that you need. And then when you're done, hit the tab and we're good to go. So that's a great little device that you guys came up with. Especially gives you a little bit more access to all the stuff at the bottom of your fridge, because everything that you always need, of course, is at the very bottom, because that's where the beer stays the coldest.
Exactly.
So, all right, cool. Well, we are gonna get this stuff put away and cleaned up, get the camera gear put away, and Jerry and I are gonna sit next, and we're gonna tell you guys what we got coming up in the next week or so. So we'll meet you inside in just a little bit. All right, guys, so that was a fun install. Thanks so much, Jerry. Really appreciate it. Guys, Jerry, owner of Tembo Tusk.
Hi guys, how you doing? Yeah, we had a good time with the install. We learn something every time we do one of these. It's a new product, so we're learning as well.
Yeah, and it is, as Gavin mentioned, as I mentioned, there's a lot of measuring 8 times before you start drilling or putting anything in there. So, but we were the lovely recipients of a donation from Jerry to continue to experiment with it. And you know who the main benefactor here is? Tish.
Yes.
Tish is going to be very happy with our new tilt. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we are actually, I got something a little here for Jerry first and the guys at the shop to give them a little thank you. So I brought the guys from the shop some honey pepper and some pepper 395 jerky. So you can give those to them.
I will.
Once
Thank you.
once you feel like they've earned the right to stop and take a break.
Now, empty packages doesn't count?
No, it's
I have
just
to
a
give them
label.
full.
Yeah. Look,
Okay.
you're the boss, Jerry. You do whatever you want. And for my buddy Jerry here, we made you
Oh, cool.
a
Look at
Scottle t-shirt, part of 395 Junkie Apparel. As you guys know, we started doing custom t-shirts now, and I had a great picture of a Scottle that is sitting overlooking the Pacific Ocean with a chair, and I figured it's a great picture to put it on a shirt for you, Jerry, and show you our appreciation.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
So,
Thank you.
As a reminder, guys, 395junkie.com. We can take any of your most favorite pictures, rigs, kids, child, dogs, whatever you want. we could throw it on a t-shirt, and I've been quite busy making them for a lot of you guys, and I'm getting a lot of great feedback, so feel free to check it out. But now what are we gonna do, Jer, now that the install's done?
Now it's time to test it. Now it's time to go camping.
Yes, and we've got quite a big camping trip coming up. We're leaving
not this weekend, next weekend, heading to Colorado to the Overland Expo Mountain West.
Mountain West, and 395 Junkie has never been to an expo. I keep hearing how great it is from all you guys, so I'm very excited to go there, and I'm gonna help Jerry as his celebrity chef. I don't know about the celebrity part or the chef part.
Oh yeah, no, I've eaten your food. We're gonna be eating well, that's for sure.
Yeah, so if you guys are going to Overland Expo up there in Colorado, please stop by, say hi. I'm gonna be helping Jerry at the booth, cook some food, and I might even have some jerky for you guys if you're interested to swing by and pick up a bag or two. But it's gonna be fun, but I'm mostly excited about, going to the expo, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I wasn't excited about camping all the way up there.
It's going to be fun. Camping in Colorado is outstanding.
What about this time of year?
You know what? It's the perfect time of year. I mean, the
go.
weather's perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And there's nothing but dirt roads up there. So
You're speaking my language.
starting
I like it.
from from Utah all the way into Colorado, and we're gonna love it.
Yeah, so we're leaving Saturday. We have to be at the expo on Thursday morning. So we're playing it safe. We're giving us 5 days to get up there.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot of dirt roads. So that's what Jerry and I are going to do now. We're going to sit here and plan some routes, exactly. But what are some of the highlights? What are the areas you would like us to hit?
Well, one way or another, if you get into Colorado, it'll be the Alpine Loop.
Right.
And Silverton. You need to go to Silverton. Silverton's fantastic. If we had time, and we might, take the railroad from Durango up to Silverton. It's nothing better.
Oh man,
And,
I look forward. I would like to try to make that happen.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got 5 days to get up there, but
that's fantastic.
some of the passes you were talking about, we're
going
through.
Ofra Pass, Engineer Pass, Cinnamon Pass. That's all part of the Alpine Loop. Animas Forks. And so there's so much to see. I mean, we can spend a week up there and not see it all. So even we think we have a lot of time, but
it's going to go quick.
It goes very quickly.
Yeah, it's going to go quick. And like I said, we've given us 5 days to get up there, but we're going to start doing our planning now. Just thought we'd give you guys that little bit of announcement. If you're up in that area, although I do know some folks down here that are making the trip up there, there's a big following to these Overland Expos.
There is. We see a lot of people, the same people at the different expos.
Right.
And they're always so friendly. They come, they say hi.
Very cool.
So we love it.
And we might just be cooking some food at the booth as well.
Oh, absolutely. If you're at the expo, come see us. We'll be cooking either tacos or whatever Daniel's going to cook up for us.
I got a few
And we'll be
things up
giving
my
out
sleeve.
samples.
Yes, we
and
will.
And of course, God forbid, if you want to buy a scottle, we will have some there.
Maybe. Okay, we're gonna have
That's
plenty
me.
of scottles. So guys, come on up, check it out. We're looking forward to also getting some more content on the way up there. So hopefully we can get a couple videos out of this trip. So it's gonna be fun. But we're gonna wrap things up here and close this video. Again, guys, the tilt for the slide is gonna be a game changer for us. I'd encourage you guys to go check out Jerry's website and look at that, as well as all of his other gear. Although I know you can also get a scuttle on my site, but we'll let you guys figure out where you want to do your research. But again, you can't go wrong with these Tembo Tusk products, guys. And my newest one, I'm probably one of the most thrilled about next to the scuttle. So thank you very much.
You're going to enjoy that.
Yeah.
All right. Thank
Awesome.
you.
All right, guys. Happy trails.